walked in the place, sat by the bar, all the drinks on me, don't go too far, sitting by the bartender, asked her.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Igani, and we're here on 910 Sports. Once again, I want to thank, first and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity because without Him, this would not even be capable of happening. I got a lot of big things going on this year that we're tapped into. That's probably our first episode, probably here in like a month. We had to take some time off for a little bit. We have been going hard for a minute, so we took some time off for personal reasons and other reasons. My partners, they'll be on here in a minute. But anyway, I want to go ahead and introduce this young man. So my understanding, this young man has been doing some big things in sports. But the thing about his story is that he does have a handicap, and but he has not allowed that handicap to hinder him from being what he's supposed to be and continue to strive to move forward. So we brought him on this morning, not just because of his handicap, but we brought him on here because he is a athlete that's actually excelling in what he's doing and wants to continue to push forward. But he is an inspiration. So I bring on Diamante. I'm saying it right. Diamante, is that the right? Diamante?
Diamante.
Diamante Grant. So how you doing, young man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. So basically, we're gonna jump right into it. So basically, tell people what your handicap is, and then we'll go into the story of what you do, what you do in sports.
Uh, I was born with like missing fingers on my left hand, and that's really it.
So you was born missing fingers on your left hand.
Yes, sir.
Um, so basically, okay. So what age was it when you started sports? When you started in being active in sports?
I want to say I started when I was like 4.
Okay, okay. So at the time when you started, did you feel like that what you were going through was it going to be an issue, or did you look at it as a handicap, or was you just a little kid out there running around just playing and having a good time?
I didn't really look at it as a handicap. I was just having fun because I felt like I was still competing with everybody else, so it didn't really bother me.
Okay. So what age was it where was it at any point where a coach or a situation happened where somebody kind of made you feel like what you were going through was a handicap?
Mm, I would say no, but I guess you could say like when teams were like pushing to my left.
When they would push you to your left?
Yes, sir.
So basically you're saying like on the basketball court, basically.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, I would say that's not really like a major thing. Reason why I say that is because it's a lot of players who play basketball who Um, they only like going either the left or the right, whatever their strong suit is. Like even if you talk about somebody like a R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, these players sometimes get criticized because they only like to go to their left or whatever. And I'm left-handed, so when I used to play basketball as a kid or whatever, I only like playing, going to my left most of the time. I would go to my right, but very seldom. So I would always go to my left. And it's kind of funny because left-handed players to this day seem to be almost harder to guard, even from professional level, because I guess it's still like a weird thing to guard somebody that only wants to go to their left or uses their left hand dominantly. So, how early was it that you knew that you could be good in basketball?
Probably around the age of I would say 8 or 10.
8 or 10. Okay. It was at the time. Were you the best? Was you the best player on the court, or was you? Was it just something you knew you could play, or was you actually the best player on the court?
I think I would say I was the best player on the court.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, so basically, and I also understand that you also are uh be very fast. Like you want to running like a 4.3 or 4.4 in the 40, a 10.3 in the in the 100. So is this kind of is this true?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what how old was it? What was the age was you as a young kid with you kind of knew early on, like that you first ran that 4.3, 4.4, that 10.3 in the 100? How old were you at the time when you was doing all those things, those big things?
Those are like towards the end of my high school career.
Oh, okay, got you. So once you got to high school playing basketball, so you was doing basketball and track and field at the same time, doing the same, in high school.
Yes, sir.
Okay, was there any other sports you were playing? Or was those the only two?
Football,
Football. Okay, what positions you play in football?
wide receiver, and defensive end.
Okay, now, okay, so this is interesting to me then. So, when you played football and you was a wide receiver, so that means you have to catch the ball. So, in other words, was it hindering at all, or by that time did you understand what you could do with your hands, being that you were limited, or had that handicap for yourself? Was it harder for you to catch the ball, or was it just by that time you understood what to do?
I, I basically understood what to do.
Okay, so in that situation of being able to, you said you only had like two digits on that one hand. What what adjustments do you have to make? Did you have to make as far as being able to catch the ball? Was it a certain way you have to grab the ball, catch the ball, or is it just kind of a natural thing just to be able to kind of like when you first tried to catch the ball? Was it something that took some time, or was it just naturally because you already understood your hand?
It was naturally. I just
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. So I was talking. So Jacob yesterday was telling me, I guess you had a situation when you was in high school. The high school you was going to, they didn't really they was showing favoritism. They wasn't really giving you opportunities that you wanted, and you had to end up switching up and going and putting yourself in position to be able to be seen. So what was is this? Well, first of all, is that kind of like a true story?
Uh, Say it again.
So my understanding, when you were in high school, you was at a high school at the time or in a program that wasn't giving you the opportunities that you needed. Was it? And so you had to switch the programs to be able to be noticed or seen the way you wanted to be. So I was just saying, was that am I accurate on that story, or am I missing something?
I stayed at the school and finished there.
Okay, okay. But did you have any issues at that particular school, or was it somewhere else that you was having issues?
Uh, some people say I had issues there, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. So what was the biggest difference in when you as far as playing high school ball? Okay, first of all, foremost, semi-pro basketball. I know a lot of people don't, because you hear about semi-pro football. Semi-pro basketball, you don't really hear about it as much as far as people talking about it. I've known a lot of people that played or coached for semi-pro football. So when you got into semi-pro basketball, how did that come about? Was it somebody that seen you? Did you know about it and you went and tried out? So how did you get hooked up with that?
Coach Hampfield, he brought it up to me and told me he wanted me to be on the team.
Okay, okay. So is a lot? Is it a lot of? Um, do you have you seen people since you've been in the program as far as being able to picked up by a G League or NBA or overseas team? Have you seen that since you've been in the program?
Uh, Not yet.
Okay. And this is how many years have you been doing? Is this your first year in doing semi pro?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in that, are you a starter? Or are you coming off the bench? What's your role on the team?
I'm not. I don't know yet.
Okay. Okay. So you kind of just got there basically.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I know, like me and Jacob, we are affiliated with a semi-pro, like a JUCO league, and basically that does like has football and basketball, and there might be also opportunity there for you in doing that too. Um, if you would like to look into that opportunity also. I know the more reps you get on the court, to help you to continue to develop your game. So that could always be an opportunity for you in that. Um, to be able to get your skills up or whatever. So what would you say is your strong suit on the court? Is it shooting? Is it dribbling? Is it assisting, rebounding? What's your strongest attribute on the team?
Shooting.
Or shooting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you feel like you're a decent or a pretty good 3-point shooter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So what's up, Steve O?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
You a little bit like behind or whatever. You got all that technology over there and still can't get it right. What's going on with you, man?
Bro, I'm actually on my phone. I ain't the technology is jacked up over here, so I'm on my phone, bro. What's up, man? I'm sorry though. How y'all doing though?
Yeah, we good, we good. I don't know if you've been able to listen in or whatever. You got any questions for this young man?
I don't, man, but you know me, I always keep them on deck. I got a few questions. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. What's your favorite NBA team right now? Did you ask him that icon about his what he currently like in the NBA, who he currently follow?
Nah, we haven't got to that part yet.
What's your favorite team?
The Kings.
The who?
The Kings.
Well, I ain't
I
never
ain't
heard
never.
nobody say that.
Yeah, that's the first. But I said we need that first button on here. We need we need that first button because that's the first time in life. I'm talking about in
Right.
life. Matter of fact, that's the first time in life I ever heard somebody say they was a Kings fan. So before he even ask you another question, how did you become a Kings fan?
I don't really know. I just like De'Aaron Fox.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So this is
Okay.
like a most recent thing. So before Darren Fox, was you a Kings fan before then? So was you who was your fan of before Darren Fox? I mean
Celtics.
before. Oh, okay. Now, okay, that makes sense. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Now that I kind of asked the question I had, but is it something about Fox's game that you kind of attracted to, or is it the school Kentucky players that you kind of like? What about De'Aaron Fox that kind of stands out to you?
I just like how he's just so quick and shifty.
Mm, I got you. Do you try to pattern your game after him, or if you had to say, nah, he's not really my style of play. It's another player that kind of resembles my style. Would it be Fox or somebody else who resembles your style of play?
There'll probably be somebody else.
Who you got?
I would say like Ray Allen, like a spot up shooter.
Oh,
Mm.
say LeBron career. Ooh.
Mm. Oh, there you go. There you go with that bull job. There you go there. There you go there bull job. Go ahead, Steve. It's too early for this now.
Oh man, okay, Ray Allen, man. So like I did hear Icon ask you about the shooting, being a shooter. So for you, is it more about the location that you like the most? Is it more like you got to be in rhythm to get your threes off, or is it just give me the ball anytime, get out of the way, and I'm gonna hit this shot? What's more of a ideal situation for you shooting your three?
Just give me the ball, get out of the way
Woo!
for you.
I like that. Give me the ball, get out of the way. I got this thing, Icon. Don't worry about it. Sit back.
Hmm.
That's what's up. All right, last one, man. You play shooting guard or small forward? What you play?
I'll say shooting guard.
Shooting guard. So give me your top four shooting guards all time. It don't matter what order, don't matter who it is, where they come from, what era. Your top four shooting guards of all time.
Mm, I would say Kobe.
Kobe.
Mm, I don't know. I
I'll throw
think.
you some names just to kind of help you. AI was a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Uh, Dwayne Wade was a shooting guard.
I was gonna say Wade.
D Wade, one he in my top four. Let me kind of
Well, he
go.
did say he like Ray Allen, patting this game after
I was
Ray
about to
Allen.
say
So
yeah, Ray
your
Allen,
top
Ray
Yep.
four?
Allen. Yep.
Michael Jordan.
And MJ, MJ, MJ.
Okay.
I take them. I like them four. Kobe, Kobe Allen, AI, and MJ. I can take that. Icon, you got a
Yeah.
problem with that list? That list pretty solid.
No, what he got? I would put Mike. I would put that probably would be almost my list would be Mike. Well, I would say favorite because you didn't say best. You said favorite. So I
Mm-hmm.
would say MJ, Dwayne Wade, AI.
That's solid. That's solid.
Yeah, that would probably be. That would probably be. Yeah, because necessarily I wouldn't say Kobe. He's not my favorite. I would put him in my favorite list, but I know a lot of people. I ain't mad at it, but
Yeah.
I just got to think real quick who favorite for as who I would throw, who I would take Kobe out for, because I know Kobe's not. But I got because being that you said it like that, I'd have to think about other two guards. Uh,
Yeah, it's kind of
uh,
hard when I'm trying to think in my head before
yeah,
Kobe.
when I'm thinking off the
AI.
fly like that, it's kind of hard for me to say like, okay, who's somebody I would say instead of Kobe will be in my top four. I got to think about it for a second. I'm going, I'm old, so I got to go all the way back to the '80s and then think about each team and players and all that kind of stuff. So it would be a little bit harder for
Ain't
me
that
to.
the argument though? Michael Jordan didn't play against nobody at two.
He didn't do it.
And that's the argument. Michael Jordan didn't play against no real two guards like that. He didn't play against nobody significant at two.
Nah, not really. I mean, the closest two guard he played to that was great was considered great back then. I mean, you could go Mitch Richmond, you could go Clyde Drexler. Um, I mean, it just depends on what you how you really consider those two guards. I know who it is. Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller is
Oh
my
yeah, 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 yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
I would take when it comes to clutch shots, I would take Reggie Miller over any guard out there. I don't care who it is, other than Michael Jordan. Once ago, you talking about making a
I
clutch
forgot about
shot.
him. I forgot about Reggie Miller.
Because
You're
Reggie
right. I
Miller
did.
was a stone cold killer. It was just he didn't really have no help around him. But like Reggie Miller, I'll take him over Steph Curry, all of them. I'm telling
What?
you. He was different. I'm telling you. Because you got to think, Sugar, Curry the type, well, Curry give
Diamante,
you
don't listen to
40,
that man.
50. He'll give you a bunch of threes, but he clutch time, Curry ain't really clutch. You know what I'm saying? Think
Diamante, don't
about
listen to that man.
Curry career. You know what I'm saying? He got his a couple of moments, but not like not like Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller just ain't have no help. You know what I'm saying? He playing with a
That
bunch
man
of.
shooting. That man shooting as soon as he crossed over the half court line. What
I
are you
get
talking
what
about?
you're saying as far as shooter. He the greatest shooter of all time. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm
Okay, there
talking
you go.
about
I'm good with
is
that.
making shots and when they count the most. And
I
Reggie
can
Miller
live with
was
that.
doing that. But
I
yeah,
can live
but
with that.
anyway,
I can
so
live
let
with
me
that.
ask you this, Diamante, before we let you go. What is what was the moment, like a moment on the court, like your greatest moment? What was your 40-point night, or what was your great night on the court? You know what I mean? Because I think all of us that played basketball a little bit had that moment, whether you was in the backyard, if you was on some court at the YMC playing with your friends, or if you was actually on a organized team. Everybody had a moment. So what was your moment?
I would say scoring 1,000 points in front of my whole family, basically.
Oh, okay. So hitting the 1,000-point mark.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So that day, let me get into that a little bit. So, because I know those kind of monumental moments is could very be nerve wracking throughout the day, throughout the week. How did you prepare? How was it that day when you knew? Because when it's that moment coming up, and especially the day of. So, how many points were you away before the game started?
3.
So, okay, I was gonna say three in my mind. I was thinking three in my mind too. That's crazy. So you was 3 points away. You only know you had to make one shot basically to get to that point. Were you clanking it, or was it like early on? Did you make the shot, or was you out there struggling trying to get it?
I made it early on.
Okay, so you was able. So was it a lot of anxiety earlier that day, leading up to it? Because how many family members was there? Was a lot of people that you knew?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so was it nerve wracking that day?
Pretty much for the most part.
Oh, okay. So what did you do to prepare that day? Were you outside shooting shots, or were you just kind of chilling?
I called my coach and I was like, "Can you open the gym up before the game?" So I came like a few hours earlier and got shots up.
Okay, so when you got to the gym, were your teammates kind of like leaving you alone, or were they like encouraging you before the game started, or how was that going with your teammates?
They were just like excited for me, but like at the same time, they're trying to like get me too overwhelmed about it.
Okay, okay. And I take this was back when you was in high school
Yes,
when you
sir.
got. Okay, okay. All right, man. So yeah, so I just want to. I appreciate you coming on this morning. And giving us your time. I know it's early, but I just we definitely want to get your story out there or whatever. And what's the name of your team that you on now, the semi-pro team, if people want to come out and watch you play?
The Edgefield 76ers.
Asheville. So you said Asheville,
No, Edgefield
Edgefield. Okay, what city is that in?
96.
No, I said what city? What city?
Oh, is it 96? I think. Hold on. Did you hear me?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
said
it sounds like you said
96.
96. That's in
Yes, sir.
Kansas City.
Okay, 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 okay. All right. Tell them where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram at Diamante02.
Okay, I appreciate you coming on, young man. I hope you have a blessed day, a blessed career. I'm pretty sure Jacob, our co-host, he's not on here this morning, but I'm pretty sure he'll be getting back with your dad or whatever, and being able to, try to, help you out as much as he can in your career, and anything you may need from us, whatever, anytime, any information you want to give us, we can post or anything like that. So I appreciate you coming on this morning, giving us your time.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Yeah. I remove it. Okay, there you go. Yeah, Steve, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. I kind of overslept a little bit, getting back into
You,
the swing of this thing. And then when I get
you
downstairs, man, my computer went to acting stupid. As you see, I got everything kind of laid out in the background behind me. Normally, I got the black background, but the computer
yeah,
went.
you sound like you was in lockup or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you doing this podcast from jail. But anyway, well, shoot, now we got a little bit of time, man. Let's get into some sports a little bit. We ain't really had a chance to really tap in like that.
Yeah.
Um, You know what I mean? So let's go back. Let's go back to this Damon Lillard situation. Let's start off with that. So what you feel like about that as far as the Damon Lillard whole thing? Do you think it's going to end with him in Miami, somewhere else, or how do you feel like that's going to land?
Sounds like he's trying to force his way to Miami, but I don't think that Miami have the assets to send back to Portland. I don't think you can't really force it like that, and I don't see too many teams jumping out there to help Miami. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have a third team that'll help facilitate the trade, and they'll take on the dead weight or help. I don't really see too many people helping Miami to really get that trade through or being willing to jump out there and be like, oh, we'll be a third team to take off some dead weight or we'll take off, throw in some draft compensation. Because Miami don't have the assets like that, bro. No, nobody wants Tyler Hero. That's the only person you got that might be worth trading. Kyle Lowry too old. They're not gonna let off Jimmy Butler or Bam. But I'm shocked by Damian Lillard putting it out there like that, or his people putting it out there like that, like he only will play for Miami. That part shocked me about that because I didn't see Dame being the drama person or the diva type. You know what I mean? I know you want out of Portland, but at the same time, you had plenty of times to not resign with Portland, then you kept resigning. So now that you're trying to force them to send you where you want to go, it's like, nah, bro, you had a chance to be a free agent and you turned that down. So as an organization, I have to make the best decision for my organization. I can't make the best decision for you. I understand you done gave us what 10 years, 8 years, 9 years, however long that might have been. But I can't just give you away for free. I still have an organization to run. I still got money I have to make. I got fans I got to sell this to. So I don't blame Portland for playing hardball in this and like, no, we're not just gonna send you to Miami and take whatever. I kind of blame Dame Lillard for putting himself in this situation.
Well, I say this. I feel like I said sometimes I look at it probably from a different lens when I look at these situations, and sometimes I look at it as either as a black man, I look at it from that perspective, or just a man in general. I believe when they sat down, he sat down with that general manager, owner, whoever make the decisions with Portland. I believe that they basically told him that they were going to try to make the team better, and he laid it out for him. He said, "Listen, trade away the number 3 pick, get a veteran player in here, whether it's a Paul George or whoever you're gonna get, and to make the team better." And I think when they picked up Scoot Henderson, I don't think everybody trying to make it about Scoot Henderson. I think it was more about it was a slap in the face to Dame, because I think Dame probably in his mind thought, oh, they're gonna trade this pick away and then whatever. Because basically they said they kind of knew what the situation was before draft night was supposed to be, but it made it look like he didn't make that demand until after the draft. But they said that at that meeting a week before, that Monday before the draft, it was already known that if they don't do certain things on that draft night, that he's going to want out. So I think he kind of felt betrayed in that conversation. That's what I feel. I could be wrong, but I think something happened along between that conversation and draft night that he felt like they didn't code up. They ended a bargain, and that's why he ended up doing what he did, as far as saying what he said, as far as like, oh, I want to do this. I want to specifically go here. Now, the specific team, sometimes that can backfire on you when you name specific teams, because, okay, let's just say he end up in Miami. Miami already lost all their backup shooters, Strus, Gabe Vincent. If they do another trade, they possibly going to lose Duncan and Hero. Now, they saying that other teams want Hero, then Portland may not. But see, people always look at it as when you say a trade, they all look at team for team. We know in the history of basketball, especially over the last probably 5 to 10 years, most of these trades are never two-team trades. You very seldom see a trade where it goes from one, especially when stars are involved, where one player goes from one team and no other teams involved. But they're saying this team that's interested in the Hero just ain't Portland not interested in the Hero. So I believe that what's going to happen is, I just don't think the whole Miami thing to only go to Miami. I think he should consider Boston. Brooklyn, I don't understand the Brooklyn thing, because I'm like, yeah, they got Mikal Bridges, but are they really ready to win if they get Dame Lillard?
Right back in the same situation.
Yeah, so it's like him. It'll be like him and CJ McCollum together again. It's like it's kind of. I don't think that makes any sense. And then watching the Spurs, watching Wemby, I like what I seen in the second game, but we know the Wemby and them are not ready to win and compete by next year. That's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So
Nah, it's not. But at the same time, again, I know you say you look at it through like a different lens, but Dame chose to resign with these people. He didn't have to. He could have hit the free agent market, took less money, and went where he wanted to. But like you said, he felt betrayed in the draft situation, maybe the draft pick. But Dame, it's just like in a relationship, Icon. If you finally decide you want to file for divorce after all these years, and that person been doing you this way, and they tell you, okay, I'm gonna get right. But you know in the back of your head, this person gonna be the same. After them 2 weeks go by and everything good, that person go back to being the same person they were before that. Dame shouldn't have took that lie from them folks and told me. Portland lied to him and told him, "Oh yeah, we'll get you some help. We'll get somebody." He should have known that was a lie, Icon. The man been there 8 years and they ain't got no damn help. You think they're gonna do it in a few months?
yeah, and the thing about it is people running around acting like Jeremy Grant was really help. No, that's not really help. I don't know what y'all looking at, but Jeremy Grant is not really
He a
help.
solid player. He a solid player, but he ain't gonna make you no championship contender.
No, at all, at all. So when I seen that, I was like, y'all serious right now? Who y'all think y'all talking to? Like, y'all act like some of us ain't real basketball heads or whatever. We understand Jeremy Grant is a good player, but he's not gonna help you win Nathan. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so let's move on to James Harden. And James Harden's situation is a lot different than Dame's situation.
Yeah, it is.
Meaning because James Harden has pretty much, and okay, let me go back to this for a quick second, because kind of weighs in on both of them, or kind of like relative to both players. James Harden and or either superstar players. See, what happened was NBA put this CBA in years ago, as far as your team that you with is the only team that can offer you a 5-year deal worth max, super max money or max money. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else can only do 4-year deals. And I think that's kind of backfired on them, because these players, what they'll do is they'll sign this 5-year deal, because they're gonna try to get their cake and eat it too, and they know they're on a sorry team. You know what I'm saying? And then the next year, once the deal kicks in, they ask for a trade, and depending on the value of the player, determines on whether or not they can get the trade. Because now a team has to say, "Am I willing to take on those last 4 years or whatever to be able, meaning depending on the superstar, if I got to pay them 40-50 million dollars." So, and in James Harden's situation, he's asked for a trade every year, almost dang near for the last 3 years
Yep, he
straight.
has. Yep.
He got
So
fluffy and fat in Houston to get his way out. Then he went over to Brooklyn, got mad because everybody was getting hurt and sitting out for COVID, and then he got mad and wanted out. Now he gets over to Philly, and for the reason, and I think I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you my theory, and you see if tell me if you agree with this or not. He was in Philly, he's with it was guy Daryl Morey for the last that got him over there. Basically, like whenever Daryl, when it came down to it, and he basically told Daryl Morey and them he wanted out. I think for Daryl Morey, he felt hurt. He felt betrayed. It was his last thing like, oh, I helped you get over here. This is how you gonna do me. Now they slow rolling it. Now they kind of like, and then I guess he thought he had to opt in and be able to get traded out. And I think Daryl Morey sitting back like, I don't really care, what happens at this point with you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So how would it, what's your theory on that?
yeah, I agree 100%. I felt like like you said, he brought James over, thinking that they was in Houston working together. He got a good relationship with James. He'll bring him over from Brooklyn, and now James get here, and I think James, like you said, he just see like he don't want to play with Embiid. I don't know. This is my opinion. I think it's something about Embiid. James don't want nothing to do with. I don't know if it's the cultural difference because Embiid's not from here. I don't know. Embiid don't seem like the type that I see him out in the mix a lot. You know what I mean? He ain't out at the nightclubs and strip. Where James Harden is more in the social life. He's a producer. He's a Grammy winning producer as well. So you can't take that away from James Harden. James
Hold on,
Harden,
did you
his
say he was a
he
Grammy winning producer?
yeah, James Harden got a Grammy.
What song?
Him and Lil Baby, I believe. Whatever
Oh,
song
for
he got
real?
going for him, that Love
First I
Baby.
heard of that. Okay.
Yeah, James Harden is a producer, and he making money off music. So James is like, nah, bro. As soon as I get through playing, I'm not trying to practice no more. I'm going to the studio. And LB probably like, no, we want to practice some more. We want to get up some more shots. And James ain't with that. James, I'm gonna give y'all my 8 hours. I'm gonna do my time, and then I'm going home. I don't think James rub a lot of people in a good way with that. Even in Philadelphia, I don't think that they like that. In Brooklyn, probably don't care as much because you got KD in the studio and he doing music too, so it was probably okay. But like you said, they couldn't stay on the court. Nobody can stay healthy. There's no winning going on. Now James Harden ain't gonna stay around for no losing either. That's one thing he ain't gonna do unless he's in Houston where the nightlife is popping, the music studios is booming, and he can ain't paying no taxes. He's straight in Houston, but
Yeah,
I don't
cause
know.
they winning that no way. Ain't nobody care about no Houston
Nobody
basketball. Like,
cares.
I mean, like when the last they ain't cared about Houston basketball since like Akeem Olajuwon. You know what I'm saying? So,
since T
like
Mac and
really,
since T Mac and Yao Ming. That's the last time they were
basically,
being
basically.
really. For real, that was the last time they were relevant.
Yeah,
T Mac
yeah.
and
You
Yao
know what I'm
Ming.
saying?
So nobody cared in Houston about him going to the studio, staying all night. Nobody cared. But now
Mm-hmm.
you in Philly and these people putting pressure on you. Got the MVP right here beside you too. He just won the MVP. He won a title. It's too much pressure. James like, man, y'all too serious about basketball in Philadelphia. Send me somewhere else. That's just my
Okay.
theory on it. That's how I
Well,
feel
one
about it.
last basketball question, and we might get in a little football before we get out of here. One last basketball question: do you think going in with the Phoenix Suns, or should they be considered the favorite, or do you think Denver still should be favorite until somebody knock them off the throne or somebody else?
Yeah, I believe that old Ric Flair line: to be the man, you got to beat the man. So yeah, I'm going with Denver. Denver gonna have to. Somebody got to knock Denver off. Now, you know what? A lot of people didn't really like my opinion on this, but I don't think Phoenix, as constructed, is going to work. I don't even think they'll probably get beyond the second round. You don't have no bench at all. You know what I mean? You can't depend on KD. That man hurt himself in the layup line last year on his own. He was just warming up and got hurt. Bradley Beal
Mm-hmm.
ain't played but 52 games over the last 2 seasons. So, I mean, you can say he wasn't motivated to play in Washington, but your body is your body, and he ain't getting no younger. So, And I think I think this whole trade stunts the growth of Devin Booker. I don't think we had seen the best of Devin Booker, but now I think you're going to cap that. I think you put the potential of Devin Booker on hold just to try to win this championship with these other two guys. I don't think that's something I would have did. I would have tried to build around Booker. I don't know if I would have kept CP3 another year, but Aiden and Booker would have been my main focus. Whereas now, everybody's talking about KD and Bradley Bill.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I believe that because I mean I think the only bench player that we actually know of that they got is uh is Garrett Gordon. You know what I mean? And whatever some of the other players is like players like I ain't never even heard of, like they came from the international world or something. Like I think every player they got on the bench from the international world. You know what I'm saying? So they got like a all international bench or something. I ain't never seen nothing like that. But not to knock it or nothing. I just ain't never seen nothing like it before.
Yeah, nah, for
You
real.
know what I'm saying? But I do agree with you. Like I feel like the Suns didn't have to get a Bradley Beal. They just needed to get more pieces to go around Durant and Bradley Beal. Because Bradley Beal really, the funny part about this is everybody looking at this like, oh well, KD coming over here, he gonna make them better. He's gonna be the missing piece. And the thing about it, if you watch the playoffs, Bradley Booker was obviously the best player on the court and the team. Like he was unstoppable up until that last maybe like game where I think he just ended up running out of gas. But you know what I mean? Like, but he was unstoppable. Like KD was the one that looked like he was kind of struggling or like wasn't the same KD anymore. Like doing that playoff run, he didn't really look.
He don't work out. KD already said he don't really work out. He don't lift weights like that. That ain't really his thing. He just like to play ball. I think you can't maintain like that. Not in the NBA.
Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. You know what I mean? And you're gonna start to see him. He probably gonna start to have more injuries. You already got when you already 7 feet tall and you already got knee and ankle injuries already. That it don't get no better. So yes, you get older. So and especially all that wear and tear on the court. And then the thing about with KD, it's kind of like how Kawhi was. You do all this load management, but at some point when the playoffs hit, you gotta go full throttle. And if your
Yeah.
body not used to doing that already, you can't just tell your body to go from 35 miles per hour to 90 all of a sudden. You couldn't do a car like that. So, you know what I mean? You do a car like that, you putting around, all of a sudden the car start going 90 every day. Eventually something gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with these players. Some of these players, like a KD, a Kawhi Leonard, some of them that they try to do this load management for, but it's backfiring because when they get to the playoffs or whatever, with one or two things happen. They either get injured or they run out of gas. One of the two. You know what I'm saying? Because
Look
when
at
you
Kawhi
play,
last year. We seen it with
it, it,
Kawhi. He couldn't play back to back games. NBA. Once you get that one travel day, you got 2 games you got to play. Kawhi
mm-hmm.
couldn't do it. And imagine you're gonna do that 4 times. You got 4 different series you got to win to get to the finals and win the finals. Kawhi can't do that, man. I don't see Kawhi being able to complete a playoff run without having to take a day, 2, 3 days off. And by then you're gonna be eliminated, especially if he's the main guy.
Yeah, and they talk about sending James Harden over there to the Clippers, and I'm like, for what? So basically, you're gonna be mad all over again because neither Paul George or Kawhi Leonard gonna be on the court half the time. He only gonna be playing in one of them in most games, if not playing with both, playing with both. So I mean, because they even said that what's the name? Teron Lue wanted out. The only why he wasn't able to get out because I guess something in his contract he couldn't like leave yet. Like I guess maybe after this new year coming up he can actually leave, but he couldn't like like he could. I guess he couldn't buy. He wasn't eligible for like a buyout in his contract or something
Okay,
yet.
okay, I got you.
You know what I mean? Or whatever it was, his contract was set up where he couldn't just leave. You know what I mean? So I think he would have because they said he was tired of, he would be in practice and of course you in practice you going over plays and stuff like that you're gonna run for your next game or however you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do your game plan. Then they like 30 minutes for the game. Oh, Kawhi sitting out. Oh, Paul George sitting out. Oh, both of
See
them
what I'm
out.
saying?
And
Yeah.
it's like he got tired of dealing with that. Like I can't even put together a good game plan because my best two players out. You know what I'm saying? Every other game. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I know it had to be frustrating for somebody like Teron Lue. Because Teron Lue, to me, as far as in-game strategies and making adjustments, he probably is one of the best. He in my top probably coaches of that do that understand how he's the type of coach where he don't care who you are. If you're not playing up to his expectation, he'll bench you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how the Clippers do it every year, but Clippers found a way to get a deep bench every year. And you know what I'm saying? I don't understand how they do it, but they've been able to do it. They just ain't have results because the two best players can't stay on the court.
If Kawhi can stay healthy, then they might get some results. But Kawhi, man, he like you said, once you get to the point where you don't do it often, you can't expect for the playoffs to come and you be able to just turn that junk on. Oh yeah, man, now I'm ready to play, back to back games. I haven't played back to back games all season. I specifically set out back to backs. Well, how you plan on getting to the playoffs? You got to play two back to back games, get one travel day, then you get two back to back games on day court. How you plan on doing that? And then when you
Mm-hmm.
get to a game 6 or game 7, you only get one day to rest. And quiet. I don't think he'll ever be able to have a successful playoff run going forward because of them knees. They're mild knees.
Exactly. So let's tap this a little bit NFL before we get out of here. Um, Basically, it's a big season. Do you think the Kansas City gonna repeat? Like me personally, you know how I feel about it. I don't go against Mahomes until I don't, like you have to beat Mahomes and me for you to for me to even think otherwise. I don't even care about the regular season if he lose a game against a Josh Allen or Burrow. Until y'all do it in the playoffs on a consistent basis, then to me, especially them being the champs again, you know what I mean? And football is a little different because football is not like any other sport where
It is.
you're expected to win every year. You know what I mean? But uh, I just feel like I'm gonna put them in that status until otherwise. What's your feeling on it?
Like you said, football, the parity in football is so great. Like one year you could be good, next year your team could be down. So the parity in football is so great. But like you said, I think Mahomes has been one of the best constants since Tom Brady. At this point, we've never seen anybody else come in and consistently be great year after year. Probably besides Tom Brady. TV, probably the only person I can think of. And they look like they're getting better. You know what I mean? Not only is he playing great, but he look like he's getting better. So I think right now Kansas City is the team to beat. But man, there's a team up there in Cincinnati that's probably licking their chops for another chance. I think if they run into Cincinnati again, I don't know if Joe Burrow them gonna lose 3 times straight to Pat Mahomes in the playoffs. Pat Mahomes got in the last 2 times, but I think Joe Burrow and Cincinnati might be primed for a big season. Can't sleep on Lamar. Lamar back, and he got some weapons this time. So they like we can say Lamar that by himself no more. You got OBJ to help you out now. What OBJ we get? No clue. But you still got OBJ out there. You drafted a wide receiver to help him out as well. So Lamar, you got more weapons than just Andrews. You got more weapons than just a tight end. So we should be able to see the maturation of Lamar
Now,
Jackson this year.
the question is, I seen a story the other day. I don't know how true it is, but they were saying D Hop is basically having signed because he waiting on the Chiefs. He waiting on to see what the Chiefs gonna do. So to me, I feel like if the Chiefs get a D Hop with basically the weapons they kind of already have, because the crazy thing about the Chiefs are, and I don't know how this going to develop from year to year, but they had 3 rookies in the defensive backfield last year and won a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
They pretty much won with they tight end being the best receiver, and they got all these young receivers coming back. I think the only one that's kind of a veteran is what's the one wide receiver's name?
From Green Bay. He used to play for
Yeah,
Green
from
Bay.
Green
He's over
Bay.
there. I can't think of
What
his
was it,
name right now,
Valdez
but yeah.
Scantling? Is it
Yeah,
Valdez?
that's him. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the only veteran kind of presence as far as the wide receiver, and everybody else is like mad young, other than Kelsey. You know what I mean? Of course, they backfield, they got some, they got the young running back in the backfield. So to me, it's like, well, dang, if they keep developing, they could have a long run because they super young, almost on every map position that matters. You know what I'm saying?
And your quarterback is not the highest paid player in the league. He should be, but he's not. That's the
Exactly.
difference.
So it's to me because even Kelsey was saying he felt like he was underpaid, and I guess he took pay cuts to kind of for the benefit of the team. But He's not even a top. I don't even know if he's the number one paid tight end in the game.
No, he's not. He's not.
You know, I mean, he
So
definitely should. Matter of fact, Kelsey probably should be the number one. Probably, I would say at least top five as far as like receivers in general, not just
just pass catcher period. He should be up
yeah,
there.
as a pat. Yeah, exactly. He should be top five, if not number one, because he has won two Super Bowls. And to me, it's almost like if this was the NBA, he would be because NBA pays you off for supermax things you do like first team and
Yep.
being all NBA team and hitting certain numbers and certain goals. So it should be like automatically somebody like Kelsey should automatically gotten a raise, to the point where he should be the top paid tight end period or top paid receiver period. You know what I mean, or whatever. Of course, you could say Jefferson and all these other guys, but they ain't accomplished nothing. You know what I mean? They just made a bunch
And
of
they're not
catches.
doing it from the tight end. They're blocking. Them man block too. He's blocking. He's blocking defensive ends on certain plays. So he's in there doing the grunt work in the trenches, and he's out there catching passes and catching touchdowns as the main target at tight end. It ain't like they hiding him. You know Kelsey's gonna catch the ball. You just can't do nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think that all goes to the genius of Andy Reid with the play calling. You got Pat Mahomes as the perfect signal caller and quarterback for that situation. And you got Kelsey being as versatile as he is at tight end. I just think it's a perfect storm. Cincinnati seriously has the perfect setup to be successful probably for the next 10 years, honestly.
Yep. Yep.
Honestly. But if there was another team, though, in the AFC, because we know NFC looks like it's just Philadelphia or anybody, Philadelphia versus the world in the NFC. Is there somebody in the AFC? I know I mentioned Cincinnati earlier. Is there somebody in the AFC that you do see who could upset them in a playoff game in Cincinnati,
Um,
in the city?
I would say if it was a team that could upset them, I would say don't sleep on Jacksonville. I just
Trevor
think
Lawrence.
I think just that between that and the coach and they whatever. And sometimes when you're young, naive, but you hungry and you talented, and I just think Jacksonville could be one of those type of teams that could catch them slipping or whatever. Because everybody gonna talk about Cincinnati, everybody gonna talk about Buffalo. Buffalo problem is until they kind of address their running game. That's the thing that hurts them. They put too much on Josh Allen and have no running game or whatever whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's the very reason why they will lose the AFC West this year to Aaron Rodgers. That's just my opinion.
I mean, I would say if Tua could stay on the field, Miami would have a real good chance. But it's just a matter of Tua because Miami got. If you look at the weapons Miami got, it's ridiculous. It don't even make any
Yeah.
sense.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? The weapons that
And their
Miami has.
defense. Look at their defensive secondary. Their defense too.
Yeah, exactly. They got Ramsey over there now, and they got Howard. So they got like a top five backfield on the defensive side. They got wide receivers, the running backs, tight ends, all kind of stuff. They even talking about getting Dalvin Cook. I'm like, good lord. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Right.
it's almost how like when Brady went to Tampa and they surrounded him with a dream team down there. They kind of doing what they kind of doing with Tua. So if Tua could stay on the field, I mean, they ain't no telling how far they could go. They could actually give Kansas City a run for their money.
True.
But I would say like you said, other than Cincinnati, AFC wise, I would say maybe Jacksonville. I'm really curious to see what Deshaun Watson gonna look like this year. At
Oh
with a
yeah,
full
man. I think a
team.
lot of people forgetting about that in Cleveland. Like this is his
Yeah,
second year, and he does have the weapons around him. They got some young wide receivers. They got Cooper. Nick Chubb is a consistent beast. The defense looks pretty good as well. They got some questions in the secondary with some of the guys they drafted over the few years not developing kind of how they expected. But yeah, Cleveland is another team, man. I think that's poised to make a run. Like I said, the Jets. I think a lot of people sleeping on the Jets, but Aaron Rodgers, like the Jets were really a quarterback away. That was the only
yeah,
thing holding the Jets back last year was your boy Wilson out there stinking it up. But you got uh you got Aaron Rodgers back there, man. If Rodgers can go back to any form of when he was killing the NFC and consistently winning the NFC North, then I think that the Jets have a chance to win that division.
yeah.
I
I
like
mean, yeah,
Buffalo. I like Buffalo, but like you said, you can't expect Josh Allen to throw it and run it and catch it. You know what I mean? He's doing everything for that team on offense. Kind of like the situation with Lamar was, but he got Stephon Diggs. He has good wide receivers around him. It's just to me, they need that running game to take that pressure off of him, man. They need a
Yeah, especially when you play in a cold weather city. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to run the ball consistently. When you playing in a cold weather city like Buffalo, one of them cities that from damn near October to February is cold. You know what I'm saying? So you so you got to be able to run the ball. It be gloomy every time I go up there. It be gloomy. It don't the sun. I don't think the sun like the north hardly. The sun get up north and be like the sun. This, you know how people in north be always mad when you up north. That's how the sun is. The sun just be like, I ain't even coming out today because y'all ain't gonna y'all ain't bringing me down. You know what I'm saying? So so, so but anyway, yeah, I would say that, but I think it's gonna be a very because one thing I'm gonna say about the NFC, and I hate I'm even gonna say this, but I'm gonna put this out there because I don't really think it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna put it out there anyway. I believe that if the Cowboys is gonna win, this is the year to do it because the NFC is so like you don't have no clue what's gonna happen. If the Cowboys can't win, at least get to the NFC Championship game and play the Eagles or whatever, then I don't see like I don't even want to make predictions yet because I haven't really broken.
They'll fire McCarthy if he's not
They
playing.
have to. They have to because the thing about it is Dallas still is mad talented. You know what I'm saying or whatever. So you can't tell me that it's not like all these teams in front of them that could be considered better than the Cowboys other than the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? You could say 49ers, but that's far as you can go. You can't really go no further than that as far as somebody being better than those two teams. So if the Cowboys at least get to the NFC Championship game, they need to fire McCarthy. They need to hope that what you call it just finally throw his hands up and say I'm out, Jerry Jones, because hey, this don't make no better sense. None. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I think I'm just looking at the NFC and you think about the teams in the NFC and what everybody's done this offseason. Yeah, like you said, there's no reason why the Cowboys should not be in the playoffs and win maybe more than one playoff game. Probably going to be a wild card team. I think everybody's going to be chasing Philly. But you never know. Again, it's football, man. One injury, Jalen Hurts break a finger or something like that, and the whole season has changed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
49ers, who are they quarterback? You know what I mean? We don't know if Brock Purdy gonna be ready. We don't know if they're gonna trade Trey Lance to the Falcons. That rumor's out there. So
And
it
and,
just
and, and see the thing about this, you got to even say this because you said it. I'm not sold yet, but you more sold on Sam Howell than I am, and I'm a
I like
Washington fan.
Sam. I do. I like Sam.
And my thing is, let's just say Sam Howell plays decent. Let's just say he plays Kirk Cousins level, at least to that level. You know what I'm saying? Washington got a lot of weapons. If you really look at what they got,
What?
you know what I'm saying? And defensive wise, they still got the one of the top five top 10
Yep.
defenses in the league,
Yep.
as far as in the in the front on the defensive line. So at the end of the day, you just never know. They could be that team that goes from no playoffs to at least
I can
squeak it
see it.
into that seventh spot.
I can see
You know
that.
what I mean?
I
You
can see
never
them.
know.
I can see
So
them upsetting Dallas too. I really can. Like I said, they have all the weapons. Their weapons and Brian Robinson. You didn't even have your running back for the whole year because he got shot at the camp. Now he got a full camp up under his belt, fully healthy. Still got
mm-hmm.
Gibson coming out the backfield with him. You got the tight end Logan Thomas. Yeah, Washington has everything they need except
and
the
then
quarterback.
and then we gonna find out if Eric Bieniemy is if he was just a
Oh, that's true. I forgot y'all got Eric Bieniemy now.
So we about to find out if he actually, can call plays like Andy Reid, if he really learned anything. Because whether Andy Reid was calling all the plays or not, if you've been with Andy Reid or if you've been with anybody somebody that long, you should be able to pick up some stuff to be able to learn how to do. That's like anything. That's like your son being around you every day. He gonna pick up tendencies like his dad or whatever, and then eventually he may end up being better than his dad. So you just never know in those situations until you actually get that shot to be able to show it. But anyway, man. Uh, Great show, first show back that we've been. It's probably about a month since we've been on.
Yeah, I think so.
Month and a half. I know a lot of people have been looking for us to coming back, but we back full throttle now. You should be able to see us every Sunday morning or Sunday evening at the worst, because football season coming back around, we're gonna be on every Sunday morning.
We're
So
45 days away from kickoff.
for what the real kickoff or
Yeah,
preseason?
nah, preseason less than that. Preseason is in like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, but I'm about to say, 'cause I don't really watch preseason. Barely. Like I may watch to see if certain players
I was
like
about to
see
say,
how
I
they.
think I watch for certain people in the preseason to see if such and gonna make the team or see how a certain player, you know what I'm saying, might do. It's a lot of Hurricanes out there in the preseason that sign like undrafted free agent contracts. A lot of people from Georgia out there too. So yeah, now I watch the preseason, man. And now I've been watching it because you know a lot of them guys that don't make it, they end up in the XFL or the USFL. So
Yeah,
I do be
yeah. Because
watching
next
that.
week we're gonna talk about. I want to talk about this ABA thing because you know they supposed to be bringing the ABA back in
Yeah, I
basketball.
heard they were bringing the ABA coming back, another basketball. But why they
Yeah.
don't give?
So
They
that,
might well give Ice
but
Cube
the
a shot.
kicker is
Why they
the
don't give Ice
kicker
Cube a
is
shot then? They might well
they
give
got
Big
live
Three a
money.
shot.
Who?
Oh, you talking
That's
about
the
like the golf
kicker,
people?
huh?
You talking about like the golf people?
Yes, they have live money
Oh, that's Saudi
because
Arabia money, that oil money.
Ice Cube was talking about this on something. He said that you know he's been trying to work with the NBA for years since he started the Big Three, and Adam Silver don't want to mess with him. Like he said, he got owners and GMs that been trying to rock with him in the NBA, but Adam Silver kind of like no. And he said, y'all sitting here worried about me. You better be worried about the ABA. He said the ABA, they got overseas investors and they got that real money that can play NBA players more money. So, you know, of course, American players gonna stay with the NBA more than likely, but them foreign players like a Yoke, players like that may say, "But shoot, I don't gotta leave my country if I still make money."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them don't really care about the fame; they just worry about the bread.
Yeah, Leo, they bought all them PGA Tour golf players. You remember that?
Exactly, and that's why they merged now. You know, now I don't know if you probably follow golf, but the PGA
Yeah.
and Live has now become a partner
Oh, okay.
because of
Okay.
that. So, you know what I'm saying? So they better be careful. But anyway, bro, like I said, it was a great show.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna get with my brother later on, Jacob, see what's going on with him. But it was a great first show back. We're gonna keep this thing going. So see y'all next time. It's your boy Icon East and my man, Mr. Georgia, everything, Steve-O in the building. And also thank our guest Diamonte Grant for coming on this morning. And see y'all next week.
I walked in the place, sat by the bar, all the drinks on me, don't go too far, sitting by the bar.